en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding. We're just gonna let this rock one time, guys, and then
dormir en algún lugar.
we'll get to it. We're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here. I should
Money
do
work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look. What's good? What's good? Mike's in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday, guys. Very excited for tonight. I'm just gonna tell you now, guys. Really excited for everyone that's tuned in tonight. A few things that's happening. We have Lenore in the building. That's some of you guys might know her as Nizoni on YouTube. She's fairly new. So we're gonna talk a little bit about YouTube, what it takes to be part of YouTube, and her riding a really big motorcycle. Even myself, I'd say, would not be riding a bike that's that large because it requires a lot of finessing to get that off the ground. But we're gonna do what we do best, guys, which pretty much meet and greet everyone that's in the chat very early, say what's up to everybody before moving forward. But a few things we want to cover, guys. My apologies for some of the low energy stream that we've had in the past couple of days. It's been the holidays, family events, lots going on, scheduling people to come on. But let me assure you, energy, performance, everything's going to be the same as we're moving forward. We have a lot of great guests to come on live on the show, at least in the next coming few weeks. Next week live, we're going to have the marketing manager for SR Motorcycles that's going to be on here to just talk to us about pretty much the difference between buying an SSR motorcycle to a name brand Grom or something like that, or something that you guys might be very interested. But that's just a light preview of some of that. By the way, tiny feedback. Let's see here. How about now? It's still there. There we go. How about now? Feedback's good, baby. I am quick with it. I am paying attention. I am focused, people. But yeah, very excited. A lot of cool things happening on the channel. A couple of companies have reached out and wanted to partner with what exactly we're doing on here. And I think it's a really big opportunity. So tonight's going to be one of those nights where we talk about a brand new sponsor. I am going to be rolling a clip. And if I may ask, definitely you want to hit the link in the description and definitely give those guys a shop. Whether you buy something very small or something big, it doesn't matter. It's one of those things where we're going to see how well things go. So it's super appreciative if you guys were to do that at least this week. That'll be great. a couple of transactions. That's going to make a huge deal for the channel and everything else moving forward. But we're going to talk about one of our longtime sponsors, Motivation USA, guys. You know the deal. Everything that you see that's on my motorcycles, the way it looks, the way it rides, the style, pretty much everything else, everything that I get for my bikes, and they are part of the channel for a very long time. Motivation USA, guys, that's where you're going to want to go. Links are going to be in the description down below for you to kind of grab any one of these carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber parts, exhausts. You know, it doesn't matter which kind of motorcycle that you're currently rocking. They have parts for it. They have tools that you can get. You name it. This is the place that I shop pretty much any of my bikes. You see the stuff there. This is where you're going to get it. And if you're not looking to shop for anything else for yourself, guys, I highly recommend you share the links with friends and family. That way, you still get an opportunity to contribute, you know, in a certain manner. But as I mentioned, we do have a new sponsor, so whether you're looking for bike stuff or some other stuff that might pertain to you, you can support in that manner as well. But yeah, take a quick look, man. Look at that triple tree here. Tons of really nice premium parts, guys. By the way, this is brand new. Small news that we just got. Duca Bike has officially joined the main market where they could do parts for other motorcycles outside of Ducati, and they just shipped me out some of these really cool covers. Might as well show you this. There you go. The DBK. Sorry about that. I was grabbing my tea as I'm talking to you. Yeah. They just released this DBK motorcycle cover. I do have 2 of them. I need probably 2 more to cover my bikes. But just so you know, DBK is an acronym for Duca Bike. So that's what the deal is, guys. But let's go and pull up the live chat and say what's up to everyone. And then we'll bring Lenore on. And I think you guys will definitely find her very interesting. And here's the thing. You know what's cool? Even though she's fairly new to the stratosphere of doing YouTube and vlogging and stuff like that. And I always find situations like this very interesting because you get to see where someone comes from. The nervousness or some of the jitters that they have when they first started recording. So I think those are very cool experiences to kind of see very early on, and then you get to see what they're doing down the line. But here's the interesting thing. She did get invited to an exclusive press run for Indian Motorcycles. So again, just because you're new to the game doesn't mean that you won't get an opportunity. That's something we'll definitely talk about. And I think that's a really dope thing. I mean, I've been in the game for a very long time. I have fairly decent following. I don't think they're gonna invite your boy to a press event. so I think it's a very interesting space to be in as a girl, and also even though you're new, the opportunities are completely different from what a guy that's been doing it for a very long time to a girl that's doing it and doing it nice in a very classy manner, which is one thing that I like as well. So let's take a look at the comments, say what's up to everybody, and then we're going to keep it moving, guys. By the way, thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We have 650 Eves in the building. Very excited. I took out the echo. I had a second mic plugged in, and I had it on, and I didn't turn off. I did. By the way, appreciate that you're here, brother, because things are stiff out there. People are joining the streaming game and just coming on, and it's all good. Love a good competition. Love everyone kind of competing, so it's a good thing. Sasong's in the building. Mike and Anna, thank you guys for the support during hard times. I finally put out what happened to my moms out there. Truly appreciate it. For you guys that might not know, Sasong lost his mom on New Year's Day, which was very heart-wrenching. It's a very difficult situation to kind of deal with, especially during the holidays. And of course, we're sending a lot of love and prayers down his way throughout the stream. I didn't mention what it was regarding about, but it was public now. This is why I actually mentioned it. So always appreciate that people come through on here. It's a small community, it's not a huge one, but always appreciate and value that you guys come through. Hit the thumbs up. Thanks to you guys, I was able to nail down a very cool sponsorship. I'd say paid sponsorship with Manscaped, guys. Definitely gonna want to check out. I did shoot a promo that's part of the NDA that I had that I couldn't disclose anytime soon, that I'm going to roll at some point once we have a few more people in here. We actually have a few, so we're probably going to roll that shortly just so you guys could see it. Again, I'm going to drop the link for Manscaped in the description and in the first comment that's going to be pinned to the stream. If you guys want, definitely grab something. You don't have to get anything that's major. It's going to help tremendously. And yeah, here we go. And of course, Life with Anna B's in the building. Always here to show love and support. Always appreciate that. Futuristic Viper. Always great to see you on, man. By the way, guys, let me give you guys a quick breakdown for something like that. When you get some of these sponsorship deals and you have an NDA or it's a paid deal, they give you an NDA. You can't really talk about it. Can't say anything. In between work and setting up for stream, and then I've been emailing a bunch of people just to kind of have a lineup of solid people to kind of interview and talk with. We managed to shoot everything, shoot the product, shoot some of my scenes, and edit till this very last minute. I actually had to re-render it like 2 minutes before going live and putting it back on. So really, really big deal. So just know there's a huge effort when you guys are seeing these. It's not just me sitting in front of the camera. So yeah. Let's see. We have Governor D Nice is in the building. What's up, sir? Always good to see you. By the way, guys, I will be uploading again starting this week. I'm going to be jumping on the 3-week, 3-day upload per week in the live stream. So just to kind of get into the groove of things again, I'm going to be uploading quite a bit more, but it will be the KLX videos. And then from there, we'll transition to some of the bigger bikes and stuff like that. And I will be getting a fourth. Is it a fourth bike or a fifth bike? Whatever. I'm getting another bike, but it's like a daily bike for sure. I did take the position, and they're going to provide the money. So I'll use that for the bike. So that's going to be kind of cool. We have Power Motos in the building. What's up to you, sir? Always glad to see you on as well. Jack in a box. That is cool, man. We have quite a few people. Guys, let's get those thumbs up, please. I'd really appreciate it. It means a great deal. When we're talking about people like Manscaped and other bigger companies, they are seeing these things. I did not make the effort to reach out to these companies. They are finding us through our conversation, through the people we're bringing on, and they're offering. Some I've turned down. I didn't feel like it was worth the time, or the offer wasn't good enough, in my personal opinion. Always know what you bring to the table and your value, guys. Covert Mecca's in the building. I think he's having a lot of girl problems, man. A lot of his posts on Instagram, they're all about girls or relating to his motorcycle. So who else we got here? We got a couple. Chacon Jeremy's in the building. By the way, we have a lot of people, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Let's roll that sponsorship clip. It's the right time. Let's get it. And then we will bring Lenore on. Very excited, guys. Actually, to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous only because it's such a big deal. It's not that it's my first big deal, but I'm so like accustomed dealing with motivation. I know it's a huge thing, but it's like second nature to me. So to some point, I take advantage of it. I don't think that it's really a big deal. It is, but this one's official, and I think it's dope. So let's get it rocking, guys. Let's throw this on. I'm excited to tell you guys it's something you're gonna have to get. Manscaped is the absolute best when it comes to men's grooming. You know what? I'm just gonna run that back because it was quiet. Hold on. Let's do it. Let's welcome Manscaped to Freestyle Sunday, a proud sponsor of the channel. Boy, I'm excited to tell you guys it's something you're gonna have to get. Manscaped is the absolute best when it comes to men's grooming down there. Trust me, I'm good to go. Wifey would agree. That's right. They also provided the Performance Package 4.0. You can join me and 7 million other men worldwide by using coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. You won't regret it. You hit me up later, be like, man, when I got off the bike, I felt good and fresh. The Performance Package 4.0 is an absolute game changer. Here's what comes in the package. The Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0, Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. It also includes the Crop Reviver Toner, and my favorite out of everything else, a high quality boxer. It's absolutely breathable. So when you're out there on the road riding your motorcycle all day, you're not gonna sweat through it, especially with ball deodorant in combination with those boxers. Trust me, you're good to go at all time, guys. They also even include a travel case. Amazing value. The Lawnmower 4.0 has advanced technology with a ceramic blade that's going to tremendously reduce the chance of you nicking yourself. Get 20% off with free shipping with code CFNY20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code CFNY20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. Okay. I'm just going to say it. I am a little bit... That was a little bit like nerve-wracking just for me. I'm just going to say it now. It was a little nerve-wracking. Hopefully you guys could smash that thumbs up just for that. And that Manscaped link will be in the description. Use my coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. You don't have to buy anything big. It could be something small, but trust me, it goes a long way. Huh? Feedback, huh? There we go. Off. There you go. Shouldn't be anymore. But it is definitely really, really cool. I hope you guys enjoy that by me saying ball deodorant. Oh, very nice. I'm just going to take a quick look here to see what everybody says. I can definitely vouch on how awesome the Manscaped products are. Of course you would say that. Okay, the travel case is nice. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is really, really nice. I think the product that they produce is fairly amazing, and I think it's a great opportunity, guys. If you guys don't mind, that link is going to be in the description. I'm probably going to drop it soon, probably while we're talking, and I'm going to pin it to the comment. Just make sure you use the code CFNY20 for that 20% off and free shipping. And also, it helps, pays the bill. It helps buy new bikes. It helps fund the giveaway that I'm going to be doing on Patreon. By the way, guys, for you guys that don't know, I do have a Patreon that I launched. Feel free to join a tier. The third tier, you will be able to win up to $1,000 worth of prizes, and hopefully we'll move forward towards more cool things. But for now, let's welcome Eleanor to the live stream, guys. We have a lot to talk about. Eleanor, are you ready for us?
Yes.
Man, I feel like your audio might be a little bit low on the low side.
Right?
Yeah. Can you guys hear it clearly? Go ahead, let me hear it.
How's that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Let's see. Let's try that. Yeah, try that one more time.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could. Can you guys hear everything nice and clear? Give me a thumbs up if you guys hear everything nice and clear. Just want to make sure everything is all goody before we get started with everything.
Hopefully everything's all nice and
Huh? Oh, A said you're kind of low. Is there a mic on your headset or no? It's just a regular headset?
This.
Hmm.
But it don't have a volume to it, so is it too low?
Yeah, just coming a little bit low, but hold on one second. Let me see if I could adjust it for you real quick on my end. Chacon mentioned if I'm going to have sponsored, well, the overall thing, we might have a sponsor on the channel pretty much every stream. That way it continues help with the overall cost of the stream itself. So that's definitely a good thing. So if you ever see those on there, it's always a great thing. All right. Sure, your mic's definitely cool. Your mic's on as well. I'm just going to confirm that. Give me a second. Yeah, definitely hear you. It feels a little bit lower, but I'll try to raise up your volume a little bit here on my side. All right. There we go, Eleanor. Well, then you could definitely talk. Quick welcome here. Just let people know what you do and where you're coming from, by the way. Oh, man. It's blacked out.
Is it Lolo?
Perfect. You're good.
Okay. Okay. My name is Lenore. My Instagram name or YouTube name is Najani X Moto. I am from Montgomery, Alabama. I am also an ambassador, a brand ambassador for Indian Motorcycle, and I work at animal clinics.
It's coming on to. So I gotta ask you this quick question: why did you allow me to pronounce your name and correct your username? I've
because
always thought it was Nizoni.
I don't.
All right, so how do
Everybody's
you
been trying to. I say Nijani.
Nijani?
Yes.
Nijani. I keep saying Nizoni. Why didn't you correct that? That is wild, crazy right now. Seriously, Nijani. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let's start with something very exciting. How did you manage? Okay, so you're fairly new to YouTube. Not that that's like a strike against you or anything like that. How do you manage to land a deal with Indian motorcycles and get into the circle of going to press events? We have people like 650 Ebe and stuff like that that's been doing this for years. That's finally made his way with like some of the big manufacturers and getting seen and getting heard and stuff like that. And here you are, jump right into the game and running at high speeds.
Well, actually, they have a program that's been going on for this be year 3 now. So you can just go on their website, sign up for the ambassadorship program, and you put in what's your traits, your social media, and they'll see if they will choose you to be in their lineup with the ambassadors. So in 21, they chose 10. In 22, they chose us was about an additional 19 almost. It was like
Wow.
in the end, it was like 29 of us all together. And I think they're going to be doing an announcement for the new ones for this year.
So here's the thing. I have to ask this. So, by the way, guys, again, the stream's always something that's very cool. Just that in itself, within the first, 20 minutes, you just got some serious information here. I was completely unaware that you can just go to the site and apply and potentially be part of one of these events, or at least becoming a brand ambassador. That is a huge deal, even for myself, that I just walked away with something within 20 minutes. So that's amazing. Here's the thing, though. Do you particularly, because I do know you own 2 motorcycles, right? There's a Harley, and then you're already, it's not a Harley. Is it a Japanese bike is it like a Boulevard or something like that?
That's a Kawasaki.
Kawasaki. You see, my next guess was gonna be the Boulevard. I always see it on the Indian, and that's what's iconic to me. That kind of resonate when I look through your channel. When I watch your channel, for example, you've done a video where you went to get donuts and stuff like that, like a run for donuts, and then you would put it on the top box, I think, like that. You made sure that it's fit. So whenever I see a channel and I see that, that big husky cruiser, I'm like, okay, that's totally her. So so to me, that became like very synonymous. So would you say it would be ideal for you to already own the motorcycle for you to land, a brand ambassador kind of deal or thing like that?
Yes.
Or you don't have to be?
You have to own an Indian motorcycle. And depending on how you get yourself out there social media wise also. So they'll be checking you out at some point if you sign up for it, to see how often do you showcase yourself and your motorcycle, your personality. They're going to be looking for all of that. The thing is, how much they watch you, you don't know.
So you know what, I think that's strange for me, in my personal opinion. I get it, why it's ideal for you to already own the motorcycle to somewhat join the affiliate program or the partner program, right, or the brand ambassador program. But you're already part of that culture. You already like the brand. You're already kind of caping for it a little bit. I think it'd be a great opportunity for them to invite people that are not a fan of the bike. That'd give a better chance of convincing someone, right? That'd be like step 1. You convince them, hey, this is a great opportunity. You're going to enjoy it. And then they fall in love with the brand, and then they could start caping for it. I think if you're already there, it's almost like saying, hey, Ducati's going to work with me. It's like, I already like it. They already know that. Everyone that watches me kind of know that. So I think that'd be something that'd be interesting. What's your thought on that?
Well, the thing is, some of the ambassadors that they actually added on, the bikes that you see them on are their very first brand new bikes. Like, including mine. Mine was before I even came on. I think I had mine since 2018. So, and I just really enjoyed the brand after doing a demo. I just enjoyed what I liked about it. So that's what made me went and got an Indian. I didn't become influenced by anybody, which is the weird part. We don't really have an Indian dealership in my city, I would have to go 80 miles out my way to go to the nearest dealership. And we actually have two dealerships 80 miles apart from each other.
Would you say that's something that would hinder you from actually buying that bike? Because that's one of the biggest thing I have. I'm currently in the market looking for a bike. Basically, right now it's a Triumph, Aprilia. I was considering another Ducati, but my friend 5UP said, "Listen, you need to stop that, get something else." So I totally kind of moved away from it from now. So I was looking at a Triumph, Aprilia, but there are no Aprilia dealership near me. There are no KTM dealership near me. So I'm a little fearful of getting in any one of those bikes. But I am, you know, it's like a big reserve for me knowing that I don't have some kind of support. But I guess in some cases it wouldn't matter too much because I could technically ride something and something goes down. I could swap bikes, but I don't know. So was that something for you that would bother you, or you usually have a mechanic or friends, family that work on your bike kind of thing?
I have friends and I do have family, but half the time, if I had any bike issues and if the bike is not completely down, I will literally ride it to the dealership and let them look at it. And the funniest thing is my bike had a couple of maintenance issues throughout 2022. And the time that it was happening when I just visited Florida like 3 times. And I'm just like, wow, you just happen to want to have a little issue while I'm here. So let me go ahead and take it to Panama City and let them check it out. But there are a lot of people that I have spoken to and was like, I don't know if I would like to get a motorcycle and I have to travel that far or I have to tow it that far versus having I have a dealership, a Suzuki and a Kawasaki dealership like right down the street from my house for an example. So, but I don't have a problem with that. It's not really an issue for me, but it is for some people, especially if they don't feel comfortable riding their bike 80 miles away like I do.
You know, it's so funny. As we're talking about this, I just realized to myself, I'm like, what is the big deal if I get a bike that is not a brand that's directly connected to an area where I could get it supported? I just realized it's so weird how you take things, you take advantage of things, or at least you become so complacent with something. I'm pretty accustomed to having multiple bikes at this point, and I still feel like I need all of them to be running at all times, no problem, which is kind of really dumb. I just thought about it. Yeah, I could buy something else that if it has to sit, it's okay. But to me, it's more of a knowing the fact that one of them is not working, that will drive me absolutely insane that I can't pick any one of them at any time to go, even though it's just one, which is kind of dumb, but I think it's kind of silly that I think that way.
Yeah, I met a gentleman when I started riding my Indian Chieftain, and he had a BMW. It was like an adventure bike, if I remember. And at the time, we used to have a BMW dealership in Birmingham, and then it shut down. So the only two places he could take his bike was either Florida or Georgia. And now they just reopened a BMW dealership with Big Number One. So now there's a closer place he can take his motorcycle to. But at the time, there wasn't. And he was like, yeah, I either go to Florida or I go all the way to Georgia to have my bike service. So you got some of those folks that were willing to go near and far just to get it all taken care of. And it don't be a bother. It doesn't bother them, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the thing is, I'm finding out, at least in that space of motorcycles, between when we're talking about Harley, Indian and everything else, I feel like Indian has making a lot of strides into improving their bikes. I think Brandon Picasso has one. I think he has an Indian. He loves Harleys as well. But you could hear a lot of people buzzing as to how Indian is making a lot of strides to improve even technologies that other competitors are not actually doing. So I think that's a very, very interesting thing. Now, I'm going to backtrack to the brand ambassador thing. So just kind of walk us through, being a brand ambassador. You go into an event, do they basically pay for your travels? Do they fly you up there? And how is it like around other content creators? Do you feel like they're getting buttered up to kind of say nice things kind of thing? Because The reason I'm asking you this because you're very early on. Like you know, you're not swayed on any side of the spectrum. You don't have a big following, so you generally going to these events because you like the bike, you're having a good time. You know, it's not like someone like myself that'd be like, oh, I like this a lot, and I don't like this a lot. You know, you have a fresh mindset going into this, and I think that's really cool. And again, that's one of the main reasons I felt it would be great to have you on, just because being fresh to the entire thing is always cool. I know some people like to bring giant celebrities on and have big conversation, and I think having that voice and seeing the very beginning is super passionate, and it's really for the love. Like even somebody like myself, I get a little jaded. Even to, you know, I spoke to a very good friend of mine today. It's like, oh, if things are not going your way because you're putting so much effort, it starts showing on you. You can hear it on your voice. But I feel like somebody like you, you're not in that spot. You're just fresh and just enjoying it for what it is. So I know this was a loaded question with like a lot of run on it, but please let me know.
They do, depending on which events. For an example, I went to California last year.
Oh, they flying people out to California now? Jesus, man, I am pissed off right now. I'm trying to be cool about it. I'm trying to ask you nicely. They haven't flown me out nowhere. Jesus.
You'll get a chance. You'll get a chance.
I'm just
but I did a shoot for them for the Pursuit Owners Ride, and that was my very first time actually riding an Indian Pursuit.
Okay.
So, and half the time I was like, can I really handle a touring bike with the I can ride a Roadmaster, but I never ridden the Pursuit. I've ridden a Challenger, but not with all the extras. So I wasn't sure how the weight was going to be. But once I got on it, I was like, oh, it's like my Chieftain. It's very light. So they took care of the hotel for us, the food, and the flight. And so I just got a whole new experience just being out in California and got a chance to meet the other ambassadors, at least
can
the seven
I stop
others
you for a second?
Sure.
I just gotta like no, I just have to tell you how cool that is, and just give some flowers to you, because that is a really cool thing to get. And I'm not talking about in terms of them flying you out and stuff like that or paying for everything. That is just really cool that you got picked in that when you applied for it, and then you got to go there. That is really cool, and that's a sign of great things to come. So I definitely recommend just sticking to what you're doing and just enjoying what you're doing, because it doesn't happen like that. I can tell you right now, I'm sure other people will tell you this. They've been doing this for years. It doesn't happen that way for everyone. So you definitely have a start, like a giant head start. So go
on. Like I got to meet the other YouTubers like Riding Fish, Bearded Barber, Ricky Not So Martin, Sergeant Last, so, and like several others, and we just all vibed and got along, and even sat down, and once we got a chance to go out the next day and like check out the bikes, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for that. I like the color. Oh, I'm gonna go for that." I basically end up with it's like a crimson red color motorcycle, but it's all chromed out, but it's really beautiful. But the thing is, as they have us ripping and going on curves, the more I get with the bike, it reminds so much of my Chieftain, it don't even feel heavy. So a lot of people perspective was, oh, I think the motorcycle's too heavy. I'm like, you're looking at a very short person handling a touring motorcycle that holds about 35 gallons worth of storage, and she's handling it just fine. The only thing I can't do is I can't back it up backwards. It doesn't have a what they call it, reverse, like a Honda Goldwing, which some people was like, oh, I kind of wish some motorcycles have reverse, but I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. That's one thing I don't have a problem with it. I'll find a way around it.
By the way, this is kind of interactive. I made a very big thing on the stream, guys, where even though we are having the conversation, I am watching the chat and reading everything. That way it's a whole 360 degree of engagement, whether it's us, you're watching, you listen to the conversation, and you can join in with their conversation. Futuristic Viper mentioned here, did you meet her two wheels? I think she's probably, I don't know if she was invited to that. She's a Harley girl, in my opinion. I don't know if she's more of an Indian rider. So, no, she did not. But yeah, I think that's really, really cool. Now, did they have a marketing person there that's kind of guiding you? Do they do like a walk around of each bike? They ask you, what do you want to ride? Do they do like a press run? I know they usually do a press event, give you like the rundown of the bike or whichever bike that you intend to ride. And then you have like a day where it's actually riding kind of thing. So what was that like?
They actually really they kind of split it in two. They actually had a set of press event riders before us.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually met, is his name Traveling Tall, for an example. I met him.
Okay.
And he's a Harley Davidson rider.
Okay.
But that day I think he got a chance to ride the Pursuit back to Tennessee from California, for an example. So we met some of the folks that were on the press ride, and then when it came to us for the next day, they were just like, choose with your heart content. So I basically just picked the motorcycle that nobody else got because I was the last one.
Why? How did you wait to be the last person to pick a bike?
Because at the last minute I had to go to the restroom.
Oh,
when I came out, they already picked the bike.
Wait, so they allow you to take a bike with you? So wait, this is ultra cool, guys. If you guys are paying attention to this, so I'm assuming they flew you out and then you pick a bike to leave with?
Well, not leave with, but we had to do a ride.
For you to ride.
So,
okay, so I just kind of completely go ahead.
So really throughout the whole day, we was filming a video for the ride.
Okay.
And at the same time, most of us never ridden a Pursuit before, so we're getting the feel of the bike all at the same time. But there are some folks who did at the end of the shoot got a chance to actually ride the bikes back home, or if they're nearby there.
That's why I completely understood. So I've noticed there's a small group of people that gets access to Indian motorcycles. This is becoming like a very deep dive into Indian, but I'm going to ask because I've never experienced this, so I'm living vicarious through you, and I think that's kind of cool. And I'm sure people are going to be very interested, especially when it comes to bikes and sponsorships and stuff like that, or at least brand ambassador stuff. So I think if you guys don't feel like this is going to where you want conversation-wise, let me know. We're going to steer the ship elsewhere, but your boy's excited, and I want to know what she's talking about. So I've noticed they've done this one thing as well where they loan people bikes for either like a month, for like a long period of time, like maybe a month or two or something like that, so you can do long-term reviews and stuff like that. I've seen other YouTubers and stuff like that. So have anybody reached out to you to do something like that yet, or it's not haven't been offered?
It haven't been offered.
Okay.
But like if I had the opportunity, like one of the ambassadors did at the time of California, and if I was living near where the headquarters were, then definitely I think they will allow me to do that. But because I am nowhere near where the headquarters are, there was no way I can do something like that.
Okay. I've noticed another company that does something similar to this too. It's Triumph. That's a company I'm die hard to kind of try. If an opportunity were to open like this for me, I think with that brand that would be really, really dope. Because I've been super on the fence of grabbing a Triumph, maybe a street triple, a speed triple. Looking at one now, actually. Hopefully in the next couple of days that I'm free, I could probably try to test ride something. But it's cold here in New York. But I think they do some very interesting stuff. But I've only seen them do it with Chase, where they allow him to have a long-term ownership of a motorcycle, and he will keep it for like a month or two or something like that. Not that I would ever need something to that extent, but I think it's a whole new world where big motorcycle manufacturers are reaching out to, I don't want to even phrase it that way, content creators or YouTube, because I feel like, I wouldn't say feel like, I 100% know what I do, what you do, for example, even like Manscaped reached out for something like this. They know exactly what we're doing, what we're reaching, the people we're reaching. So I think those are really golden opportunities because people are not really marketing in like magazines anymore or ads and stuff. We're just the embodiment of that, really. Right? Would you say that?
Mm-hmm.
So did you apply for yours or no, they just happened to found your channel?
I applied.
You applied for
And
it.
and the weirdest thing was they announced me at the end while I was recovering from major surgery. So I was just like, how soon do I need to get back on my bike after surgery? Which they let me know it wasn't a rush because some of the other ambassadors that were picked, they were out in the north, and during that time, like right now, it could be snowing, it could be ice,
Mhm.
and they're not going to be uh ready for riding because of the elements.
So if this stuff is not covered under some kind of NDA where you can talk about, which is fine, I just want to know what are some of the benefits of being a brand ambassador for a motorcycle company? Like, is it something they pay you to do? Is it something that you get some special privilege for? I mean, outside of them flying you or housing you and letting you ride the bikes, what are some of the benefits that you walk away from to somebody like that's a regular person that potentially might want to join that?
I'm really trying to think how to say this. Uh, I know if we was to buy a bike, I think,
Wait, think about that carefully before you say anything, because I know that
yeah,
in a lot of cases, certain things you're not supposed to kind of
I know.
tell out loud to people. So I just want to be careful with that one.
I don't think it's too much. I mean, that's the only thing is I've seen some of the others will buy a brand new motorcycle, but I know they can able to do that versus me. I'm like, no, I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet. But um the only thing we just need to do is uh support the brand, get the name out,
Okay.
try to get folks that never ridden Indian motorcycle or never thought about Indian to kind of just see what the whole riding experience about, get them on bikes. I've met several people that never ridden an Indian motorcycle before.
Okay.
Started to become interested, and they was like, well, thanks to you, you got me interested in riding. Same for myself. When I was looking into stepping up from this bike, uh I was looking into different tourings. So, but the only thing is I could just say is you get we got swag.
Okay.
I got a cool jacket which I'm not wearing. I think it's over there in the closet, but it's like it was a blue jean jacket with this leathering around it, and it says Indian Motorcycle Ambassador. They sent us a welcome package, and we got awesome like a little leather little them little shaving kit bags or
Okay.
had glass mugs. But the only thing is as long as we, try to meet up with dealerships or try to organize rides or get with events, um, we just want to promote the company.
Okay.
And another example is I'm very big into the motorcycle museum that we have in Alabama. It's supposed to be supposedly the world's largest motorcycle museum in the world or in the United States. And that's the Barber Motorsport Museum. So every year they have something called the Vintage Festival. And people all around come with as bikes as old as 1917 to 1920 still running, and they got to come into to the museum, and I got a chance to see a customized chief that somebody built up for I'm trying to remember the companies. I know it was part of it was Dice Magazine. I'm trying to remember the other company, and I might have to look it up. They got together with Indian Motorcycle. They put together a customized chief, and then they presented it at the museum. And I went down there as a support and then got a chance to see it. So I really thought that was pretty cool.
So I think it's really cool what you're doing. I think there's a lot of stuff that's similar to this, and I think they're very cool as well. So I'm just thinking of the best way to kind of approach this. I guess I'll do probably a little story time here. So this is not to take away off anything, right? I think when they gather content creators, people that are potentially creating content, has a following, I think it's a really good thing. I think it's a good thing for the industry, for the manufacturer, and it gives somebody like myself or you an opportunity. So I think that's really cool. But where they miss me is, and this is not to say that money is everything. That's not what I'm saying it is at all. So I'll do a story time regarding my personal experience here, not with this. And then I'll kind of backtrack to the point that I'm getting to. So maybe a year and a half ago, a small company reached out to me, okay? And they had like a blitz event that was happening. They were meeting in Classic Car Club of New York City. They basically had a bunch of other content creators. Either, I'm assuming they email everyone the same. And the trade-off for me when it comes to those situations, that they basically say, hey, do you want to come and ride our bikes or something like that? Or do you want to come and test ride it? Or whatever it may be. And they know very, very well. This is not like your situation at all. So not like yours at all. You know, this is more up and coming brand. They have some cool stuff, to be honest. I'm very interested. And they basically have some rules, and they say, you want to come and visit and ride the bike, we'll let you have it for like an hour or whatever. That's the deal they were running in New York. And my reply was, and before I even get to my reply, there was a couple of New York City people that was doing videos on the brand, and their videos were hitting 100,000 views. They were just getting a lot of promotion and doing really, really well. And I thought to myself, everybody has, like, when we're talking about major companies, they all have a marketing budget or anything like that. And I've yet to see any one of them offer, well, at least not all, at least to this specific situation. I've never seen them offer outside of the travel or something like that, or housing you or something like that. And I'm assuming that's going to come out some kind of budget. And the marketing that they get is pretty much permanently for as long as it's on YouTube. And in most cases, there are very positive reviews, not because they're influenced by that, but they usually have a good product. If they're confident enough to allow people to try it and stuff like that, they're pretty confident. And I've yet to hear anybody say, well, yeah, I did this project with them. It was a paid sponsorship. The reason I was kind of tracking to that, when they offered me, I was like, what is your marketing budget? That was my question in return to their email. I was like, I just want to know, like, I would have to leave it's not that I don't have a bike already. I already do. So obviously you want something else from me. You're not trying to convince me to buy your bike, but obviously, you know, there's a platform where we can kind of talk about your specific brand with the group of people that's associated to, you know, this platform, right? So I'm basically doing all that. I'm basically doing every single one of those things. I'm meeting all of those criterias just to ride your bike, right? So it's almost like a child, you know, when you're very excited, you've never had something, it's like, yeah, I just wrote this thing, super cool, and you had such great fun. Meanwhile, and then you go home, you produce a whole video, cut it down, you edit it down, you have them review it, see if they like what's going on, and then you post it, and then you're just getting like a ton of marketing, you know what I mean, coming outside of it. I mean, yes, you do get some videos out of it, right? And we all know YouTube do not pay like a huge sum of money, but in the grand scheme of thing, the video is doing the job that they intentionally need. This is why I was like, well, my reply to their email was, what was their budget and if they wanted to work with me, kind of thing. And after that, it went pretty quiet. Didn't say anything. Yeah. So that's why I was asking. That's why I was asking this question. I mean, not to put any company on blast or anything like that. It's just that I would say in you know, certain years ago, if an opportunity like this came along to me, I would jump on it because it'd be so exciting. I just get to ride a bike, kind of thing. And then as you start growing, you're older, you have your own. It's like, okay, what else do you have to offer here outside of me getting to ride your shiny bike, which I could go and buy and still ride? You know what I mean? So that's just my thought on it. At least moving forward, I started thinking a little bit more that way, especially with understanding the market that we're in and what we do and how we kind of work with other people and meet other people, kind of thing like that. So that was the thing. That's why I was asking you, what are some of the benefits? I mean, granted, if they do offer like a discounted rate or something like that, or where they could do even a long-term loaner bike, I think that's a great trade-off. So something like that. But I think it's a pretty cut and dry deal whenever they fly you out and they pay for your housing and stuff like that and food, stuff like that. I think those are great. But the overall value trade-off, I think, is beyond what they do to what you give back. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Or is it me just being a little bit too jaded about the situation?
Well, the thing is, I'm somebody that's like really new into this, so I'm just enjoying it for the experience, and at the same time, it's getting me out of my introvertness shell where I'm actually talking to folks. So I don't mind going to rallies. Like I went to Sturgis for an example. We got a chance to go to Sturgis. I got a chance to meet the president and vice president of Indian Motorcycle, and then we got a chance to we got a chance to meet Kerry Hart and ride for his charity and his benefit, and at the same time just got the whole experience of Sturgis all together. Something I'd never been to. Very interested in riding yourself. It's like 24 hours or 22 hours to take for me to ride my actual motorcycle down to South Dakota. So but yes, you do get at least something like a discount for it, at least for certain items or for certain things. But I think that's the only thing I can think of at the moment. And like I said, if I'm able to get a brand new bike, which I'm trying to think, if you do, is there anything for it?
I am sure, because if you're already in the mix with them, and then you're basically highlighting the brand amongst people, I am 100% sure if you call a rep and says, if you have a direct contact, say I'm looking at this one and I'm looking to get it, what could be done, kind of thing. I'm sure, because it's a plus for them, so that's definitely really cool. Well, wait, what was that about? Like, you tell me.
Because I'm sitting there, like, listening and thinking, and I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, other than the discounts.
What are you thinking? Is it based on what I said? Okay, I was gonna say, don't let me tainting the way your outlook on things.
No. But I'm trying to think. But no, I just try to, like, there are some ladies and gentlemen that I met, and when I told them, hey, the program is about to be reopened again, you should definitely try out. Like, they're actually looking at certain people or see what their content is all about. They're watching. So whatever it is that you want to showcase, if you want to do it photography wise, if you want to do it cinematic wise, if you want to do it vlogging style, you want to just write reviews on accessories, they're always definitely want to look out to see what is it that you can bring to them, or what is it creativity wise.
Did you guys have like actual how do you call those journalists with you too, or no, it was just only like YouTubers?
It was only YouTubers.
Okay.
And then not everybody are YouTubers. You got some of them that just really big on photography on Instagram, or is it Vivo?
Yeah, Vimeo.
There's another Vimeo.
No, Vimeo. Yeah, Vimeo. There you
go. And they're doing their photography and their works and the way they shoot the bikes and just get them all on the frame is just beautiful. So they're just grabbing people that what they think, showing the aspects of what makes this motorcycle just pops or make it beautiful. Be like, you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
And that's how I was. I was really interested in any motorcycle and never demoed the bikes ever. So, and then the first bike that I've ridden was a Scout. The second bike that I was interested in riding was a Springfield, an Indian Springfield. But during the demo days, everybody's been getting on the Springfield, everybody's been getting on the Scout Barber. And I was like, I don't know if I can take on the Chieftain. The Chieftain looks like it's intimidating. But I just went on ahead and just swallow my fear and just hopped on the bike and was like, oh, it's not that bad. The only thing was I couldn't reach the kickstand. So when I did purchase my bike, I had to add an extended reach kickstand so I can actually reach the kickstand because I could not reach the standard kickstand, not even on the Pursuit. So if that's something that people are really looking into and they are short like me, definitely look into
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
Really? Why do I feel like in your video I feel like you're taller?
No, seriously, everybody says that.
Right?
I think, yeah, there was a guy that told me on Instagram before doing the live stream, he thought I was 5'10", even in my videos, and I'm like, no, I'm 5'2".
I think it's your stature because you're slim. That's why. Yeah.
And I explained to him, he told me I inspired him to get a Victory Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of my videos, you actually see me riding on a Victory Magnum. That was a bike that I was actually looking into until I found out it has a little gripe about it. And I can ride across country. I can see over the dash. I get on a Victory Magnum that has the 21-inch wheel. It rises the bike up a little higher and I can't see. So when you see me riding in the parking lot, I'm basically like riding blindly, but trying to see, just stretch my head just enough where I can see where I'm going. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't, out of all the Victories, I can't handle the Magnum. And I really like the Magnum. But Polaris is all in the same. So you Victory, Indian, they got the DNA. But I really love what they brought out for the brand, and I really love the style of the bike. So that's what made me go for the Chieftain. And then when they redesigned everything, hey, everybody was just really going for the newer redesigned style of the Chieftain, the Challenger, and now the Pursuits. I kind of want a Pursuit, but I can't have two baggers. I can't have two touring bikes.
So what are you considering moving next then? Since you already have a bagger, would you ever consider like a sport bike? I had to throw that in there. Why not? I had to throw it in.
The one that's closest to it is, and I'm interested in, is an FTR.
Oh, the FTR, the Indian FTR. Dang, you're just like a brand loyalist, man. Yeah, okay. So last two stream, I spoke about getting another bike, and a lot of people are suggesting to check that out as well. And I feel like that's a little bit of a Ducati-ish.
No feel to it.
Yeah, the look at least. By the way, let me just read this comment real quick by Solo Rider. Indian is doing it right. Motovloggers definitely have a lot of influence in the USA. I think they have influence pretty much across the pond at this point, man. They definitely bring a different level of marketing when we're talking about content creation and marketing and showing products to people. I just think people that does social media, not just YouTube, just social media overall, tend to have this connect. You know, when you watch a movie or watch, a film, you can enjoy the movie. For example, I watched Bullet Train. Amazing film. I thought it was a great story. You love the artwork, the design, the way they lay things out, tell the story in the train. You can never really connect with these people because they're just out there, right? I think there's this thing that happens if it's on Instagram, on YouTube, even here on the stream, right? I don't feel that far away from you guys that are commenting and talking, and you have a reach. You could always just shoot me a text or whatever, or a message on Instagram, whatever. I feel like that level of connection of community, I think, even though the person you're watching on YouTube, it's almost like you're watching them, but it's like, I know this person kind of thing. You've ever met somebody that you watch on YouTube, and then when you finally meet them, it feels like you know them? Yeah, you don't have that same feeling if you meet like a celebrity, like an official celebrity. So it's a different level, I think. But yeah. So I have to ask, right? We have to do some of the basic stuff. How long you been riding? I know you have 2 motorcycles at the moment, right? And I don't think you've been riding for a very, very long time, right?
10 years.
That is a very, very long time. I was very off. That is a nice amount of time. I know you spoke about getting your license and how family members actually rode, right? So just kind of walk us through that. Might as well give the people a little bit of info about what you do and stuff like that. And then from there, we'll cross to some of the YouTube and you joining YouTube and your thoughts on it.
Okay. I'm trying to remember how far back it was. I think it was 2013. I just wanted to get into riding. I came to my father and my uncle, and they were like, "Can y'all teach me how to ride a motorcycle?" They're like, "No." So, but they didn't say go look into courses or riding courses either. I had to go search for that information myself. And other than them two, I didn't really have anybody in a close circle that rides. So I can't be like, "Hey, what you know about motorcycles?" I'm just going into this very blindly. I signed up for MSF course. I took the course for 2 days. I broke the clutch and the brake lever on the 250 Suzuki. So I ended up failing the course because I could not do a figure 8 with broken clutches. Like it snapped in half.
Wait,
Like literally like this. It snapped this in half.
Wait, did you drop it or what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, you dropped it. Okay, I'm like, okay.
Many times. I think I was the only person out of the group of 7 or 8 of us that kept falling off the Suzuki because one, it was like a standard sport bike. My feet are positioned back whenever I have to put it on the pegs, but the height of the bike I had to be tippy-toe. It's like it reminds me of a dirt bike, so I had to stand on one leg and try to keep my balance on it.
Okay.
Or I'm just literally tippy-toeing the whole entire time. So I failed the course. My riding coaches kind of sat me down and was like, they had a 125cc and he was like, "Sit on this bike. How do you feel on it? You can flat foot it. Now you can continue to want to ride a bike like this and it's kind of similar to a sport bike, or you want to look into a cruiser." So, and I actually was still looking into both bikes and maybe was even looking into a dual sport at some point. But I felt like the cruisers are more comfortable for me, especially for my height and me being a short person. And I don't have to go to the trouble of, oh, I got a bike, I need to lower it or find something to lower the bike for my height. I just made it work for me.
Okay.
I bought a 250 with the help of my father and my uncle. And as I started riding around the neighborhood to get used to things, I ran into who you now know, Brandon Picasso. And he actually started riding probably months before I did. So when I met him, he had his Suzuki M50 and just asked me to join whenever they go out riding. And I had a Yamaha Virago 250, or what they call V-Stars. I had that bike for maybe about 8 months, close to a year. And when it was time for me to move up to the next bike, I had men, not a lot of men, but I had some men in the motorcycle community came to me and was like, "You need a 400cc motorcycle. You need a 650, and the limit of the bike that you need to ride is a 900." And me being a defiant person that I am, started looking into bikes that's like 1200cc's and up.
Okay.
And an example, I'm really big into watching Orange County choppers, for an example, off of Discovery Channel. And I love the design and the look of the chopper style bike. So I was really into the Yamaha Striker at the time. And then there was at some point I was looking into the Bolt too. And the Bolt was definitely a get up and go motorcycle. Or some of the Vulcan lines, like how you see this one. But it was a gripe for me that I had people like really just judging me because I'm short, small, and petite, that I should just stick with this. So one day I actually looked on Craigslist and I found this bike on Craigslist, but I didn't know where is that, how to access it, because I had tried to contact the owner and I couldn't reach the owner. And then I started looking into other bikes and went into my local bike shop one day to get something for the 250, and this bike was actually sitting in the bike shop. So I asked the guy in the bike shop about it. And he looked at me, he judged me just like everybody else, and was like, "This is a 1600cc motorcycle." And he was like, he didn't think I could handle it. So I was like, let me just call my only two supporters, my dad and my uncle. They came, they was like, sit on the bike, let's start the bike. Can you flat foot it? As long as you can, I'm going to say throttle friendly or be respective to the power of the machine, you're good. So I went and got my little money together and got this bike and took it home. Well, I didn't take it home. I had to ask Brandon to ride it home for me because I never ridden this bike before. So
smart girl.
Just like I had to do the 250 once he brought it to my house, I had to practice and around the neighborhood riding this bike before I can get it out on the highway again. And it's a muscle cruiser, so the Mean Streak has a really, really good torque, low end torque, and it will take off. So I definitely had to give myself a lot of discipline when it comes to the throttle response. And then I think I had this bike for 4 years before I decided to get an Indian Chieftain. And the reason why I look cool, I feel cool. I did not want to change. I did not want to change the cosmetic look of the bike by adding a windshield, aftermarket bags, and all that. So I was like, let me get a big fairing bike with the hard bags and everything, and this will be my bar hopper bike, or it's not really a bar hopper bike, but I'll cruise around town in the inner city versus
the bagger to do that.
Distant riding. And for 2 years, I looked into different brands of motorcycles. I didn't just jump straight to Indian. So I looked into Honda Go Wings. I looked into Kawasaki Vaquero. I looked into Harley Davidson. I looked into Yamaha, the V-Stars. I think it was Adventurer. There was and the Victory lines. I was looking into all types of bikes, and each one I just sat there and I was like, I really want to know what's going to be happening before I put my money into this, because I was really wanted to buy a brand new. And lo and behold, right before I was about to buy a Victory, Polaris shut down Victory. Other bikes that I was looking into, it's just like I find out there's little bugs when it comes to the intercom system or the Bluetooth, or there's other issues with the bike. So I'm just like, I want to know what is it that I'm about to get into before I get into it. So I decided to go to demo days at Big Number One Motorsports. That's the dealership in my city in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, not my city. I'm in Montgomery. They're in Birmingham. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested in the Indian Scout Barber. I think Brandon got the Barber before I did. So yeah, Brandon had a Indian Scout Barber. And maybe two other people that I know end up getting an Indian Chieftain, but I kind of see them very, very rarely. So I just went to the demo days to see how the bikes feel. At some point, do I want to get a Springfield? Because a Springfield is basically like this, but it has hard bags and you can add a windshield to it, and the windshield doesn't take away versus doing it on this one. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I'm just drawn to the Chieftain. It was like, let me take my chance on the Chieftain. And I was like, it's not bad. I don't feel a lot of wind around me. I feel very comfortable, laid back on the bike. Okay, I think I'll go with this. And it was very smooth. But at the same time, my only issues was I couldn't reach the standard kickstand, which when I purchased the bike, I had an extended reach kickstand. I had some folks that at some point that I wanted to get a sport bike. there was at some point I wanted a sport bike, but then how long would I be riding it versus traveling cross country or visiting? Now, there is a lady that I know that traveled cross country on her Hayabusa. So it
What?
can be done. Yes. There is and she actually started a motorcycle safety course herself, but she actually traveled cross country on a Hayabusa.
And she
So
lives
that's
in your
something that,
town?
no,
No. Okay.
no. She does not. I think she's more out west, like close to Texas, I think.
Okay. Now, here's the thing I wanted to ask also. Did you ever get any, did you, I mean, from the sound of it, I can't even ask you if you got any pushback from your family about riding motorcycles, because it sounds like your dad was on board and stuff like that to kind of help you get it.
My dad was on board. My grandmother hates it.
Yeah.
So my
Shocker.
mom, my mom, my mom is very I guess as long as I'm doing something and it's safe and it's fun and I'm not hurting myself, she's okay with it. But my grandmother, every time she saw me, she hated me being on a motorcycle. She couldn't stand seeing a motorcycle. So that was the only other person. And then I think my sister worries about me. And I try to push her into riding. She's like, I'm not interested in riding. But then she saw the slingshots and the Vander Hall and was like, okay. The auto cycles look very interesting. So, but I don't think she'll get them. I don't think she'll get them.
One thing that I don't know why that's like a thing for me in my mind. I never encourage anybody to ride motorcycles.
Oh,
No, absolutely not.
the ones that I mean, the ones that are looking interested.
No. So let's say, let me just clarify that a little bit for everybody. So let's say if I take it around family sees my bike all the time and stuff. Like for example, my older brother recently told me, hey, I'm a little nervous. Like, he's never said anything. He's always, whenever I go to a shop and sees my bike, or he sees like a different bike, he's like, oh yeah, another bike, a different bike. He comes out and he like look at it and take pictures with the bike or whatever it is, and other people would look or say stuff. Unless someone is already interested in bikes and it's like, oh, I want to ride, I want to try something like that, then I would say I'm never like, yo, you should get a bike, you're gonna love it more, because I always feel like there's this gray area. Let's say if they never thought about getting a motorcycle and then they saw you and then you're like, yeah, go get one, it's very cool, then they get it, and of course it's temperamental, it's something for fun. Mishaps can happen. If you choose to do the wrong thing, it could end up badly. I always felt like if I convince someone to do what I do because it's fun to me and something happens, I'm going to feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if you've never thought of riding a bike, then you saw me, it's like, did I convince you? Oh yeah, now all of a sudden you went to get one, something happened, it's like, oh shoot, that's partially because of me that happened. That's why I never recommend anything to anyone. When it comes to that, of course. Go ahead.
And that's what I was explaining earlier. I was like, I didn't, other than my father and my uncle's background, they built and race cars, drag bikes, drag cars. So that's the only thing I knew about that. Other than that, I never saw my father ride a motorcycle. I always heard about it. So when I bought my 250, he actually rode my motorcycle, and my uncle was like, this is the first time your dad had been on a motorcycle like this many years. And I was like,
Oh wow.
oh. But the thing is, I didn't have no circle of friends. I didn't have nobody influence me. I just out of the blue was like, I always want to ride a motorcycle. I want to find a way to ride it, and I had to go through to and fro just to get that information and take the riding course safely. Because a lot of people come up to me and was like, hey, what can I do to learn how to motorcycle? You think you could teach me? I'm like, I'm not a teacher. I don't have patience. I don't have the motorcycle for you to train on. So if something was to happen, I'm going to be expecting you to be paying for my bike. So better to go to a training course where you could tear up their motorcycles like I did. because it's gonna happen. You're gonna have people that's gonna fall. You're gonna have people that not really hurt themselves, but I did scrape my knee. So they're gonna provide the helmet. They're gonna provide the bikes. All you have to do is just make sure you dress up head to toe in protection, jacket, whatever jacket you got, knee pad. Well, not knee pads, but tall boots, long pants. But no, I didn't have, right before I met Brandon Picasso and my motorcycle community, I didn't know anybody. Nobody influenced me. And then when it came to certain bikes, again, nobody didn't really influence me. I was just like going through the paces of what is it that I really, really want before I actually purchased it. I just blindly bought a Yamaha and never ridden it before. I just blindly bought a Kawasaki, never ridden it before. The Indian was like maybe the first bike I purchased after demoing it. So, but
Interesting.
anybody else that asks me, I'll let them know you have to really be, what's the word for it? Just have a good eye coordination, sense of what's your surroundings when you're riding, because you have to be aware of your blind spots. You got to be aware of people driving. They're not aware of their blind spots. They will take you out. I'm like, you got to be a cat. You got to be ready for have your reflexes going. Just always be in your mirrors, head looks. Don't be distracted too much. So,
But you know what's interesting? I'm gonna jump to a comment real quick. There's a couple of comments that came in I could read. It's very interesting. I think some people, very few people, I think more like people that I don't know see my bike. They're like, oh, I want to ride. That's kind of a cool bike. I have nieces and nephews that come to my house. Like, for example, for the holidays, I had my nephew here hanging out, and I was like, oh, do you wanna ride the dirt bike? He's never ridden before, of course. Like, he didn't want to. I think they were more afraid of it, and they're not like kids. And I think only one of my my nephew actually rode two up with me, and he held on for dear life. So it's not often. I think when you know, basically that's the point I'm making here. Like, if you see it. But the one thing I can tell you though, every time they come to my house, they want to open the garage and look at the bikes and stuff like that. But they like the way they look. They like how cool they look. But I've never gotten a sense like they want to ride kind of thing. So, and I did offer as Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, you want to ride? I'll show you, because our yard is pretty big. And he was like, no, Uncle Mike. So that was kind of funny. So I think he was probably more embarrassed and stuff like that something might have went wrong. So I think that might have been the thing. So it's not super common, at least, so people ask, but they're always very curious when they see, and they always think it's very cool, to at least my family. Life and Annaby here mentioned the new marketing wave uses influencers with a huge following to promote their products for free in perpetuity through YouTube videos or IG, Facebook Reels. It's really a shady way to cut marketing costs. I don't know if it's a shady way of marketing costs. I think in a lot of cases, what happened is when somebody's new and there's an opportunity, it's easy to, be excited and do it. The other thing too is they don't expect to pay you for the service, because for some reason I've noticed a common trend too. When I first started doing YouTube like 6 years ago, people were they thought it was a treat to allow you to touch their product or to use their product or something like that. That's like a payoff kind of thing. So I've noticed that a lot. Lenore, you're probably going to realize this as time goes by. The further you get into YouTube, if that's the route you end up going, you'll see some of that stuff. Soul Rider also mentioned here, if someone is getting a feel, is it a feel or free bike? I'm not too sure here. There's a word missing here. Fee bike, it's not a bad deal. We'll have to start somewhere as one. So as one has more of a following, they can negotiate for more later on. So that's the thing also. I think in terms of negotiating, or at least, so I think what happened to us as human beings, we can never tell in a lot of cases what we have. If someone says, oh, Lenore, I like what you're doing here. I'd love to kind of take you here and kind of get your perspective on something. in most cases, you kind of see it as if, oh, that's kind of cool, right? This person obviously saw something that's worth of a value, because you have to remember, they're coming from a major corporation. They're getting paid to find someone like you for a job that is pro bono. So there obviously there's some kind of value, whether it's 1 million followers, 10,000, 5,000, whatever it is, there is something. Maybe it's the way you position products. Because let's be real, I don't have a huge following, right? I get offers all the time. There's something. Maybe it's very convincing how you speak. Maybe it's very idealistically friendly to the mass on how you can put stuff in perspective. Who knows? That's what they specialize in finding. So let's see. Futures of Viper mentioned. Ask her, would she try a cafe racer? That's for you, Lenore.
Actually, oh, what was it? It was a couple of there was a BMW that was a friend of mine's that was riding before she moved to another city or another county, and I think she had is it a R19?
R9T?
Mm-hmm. It was like a cafe style BMW, if I remember correctly.
I do like those a lot. Those are very cool bikes, the BMW R9Ts. They're a little top heavy in my personal opinion, but I think when you're on the go, you're moving, those bikes are very cool looking. They definitely have really cool vibes. Like, let's say if you're like in New York City, in the hipster area, they definitely fit that mold really, really well. I'm seeing some new faces here. Slider Born Loser. That is an interesting name, man. By the way, if you're new, subscribe and hit the thumbs up. You better. That's the whole trade-off here for being part of this conversation. I think he mentioned Mileage Bully.
That's her name.
Yeah. I guess he's aware of the lady with the Hayabusa. She did it twice. She is in Virginia. Maybe I should try to find her and actually have her on. That'd be an interesting conversation as well. Chacon Jeremy mentioned here, I don't encourage riding either. My opinion is if they're not obsessed or love bikes, it's probably not worth the risk for them. Yeah, so that's the same sentiment that I share. Again, I would also feel very guilty. Let's say someone, because in the very beginning of riding motorcycles, I think that's when it's the most dangerous. Not because you're new to riding. It's not that at all. Lenore, I think you might be able to attest to this also. It's not because you're new to riding. I think the feeling of being invisible, like no one can touch you. Like I always tell the story. I remember riding with my wife coming from the city and stuff like that years ago. I mean, we would race, we would go out, have dinner, hang out, or whatever we're doing all through the night, and then my way back home, we're racing back home. It's usually like 40 minutes ride to get home. We would make it back in 20 minutes. You know, 2 up. I'm doing this 2 up. It's wild, crazy. And by the time we got home, I pulled the bike into the garage. The back tires, like I did track. You could see the shavings, and it was surreal. I mean, I don't ride like that anymore. But I'm just saying, like, there's a point when you're doing things, it feels very invisible. It's very new. I feel like the amount of knowledge and information that you have and the risk and reward, you understand it way better as time progresses. You're less likely to do something stupid. Right? Would you agree to that, or you've always been kind of calm and do your thing on the bike without?
I'm a very cautious person. So I don't really do too much crazy stuff compared to other people that I literally will see riding curves at 80, 90 miles an hour. And I always be the last one to show up because I'm the cautious rider. That's just me. I'm like a safety nut. Oh, you got some people that like to ride without the gear. I'm a safety nut. So you actually will see some pictures of me without my jacket, and I'd be like not that far from my house. I'd probably be like right down the street. But at other times, jacket, helmet, gloves.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen too many wild people hurt themselves. So No, no, no. But and then I've never ridden two up before. I think I'm more conscious about I'm a very lighter person compared to the person that's going to be riding on the back of my bike. So I'm just not confident riding two up because I feel like I may drop somebody or we counterweight or counterbalance is not going to be right when I'm making a turn around the corner. So I don't even want to attempt to do that. Like my nieces and them are taller and heavier than me. I'm only 115 pounds. Some of them are like 120, full of muscles, running track. And they can literally pick me up and carry me away, and my nephew. So,
By the way, guys, I just dropped. You have to pronounce it again. For some reason, in my mind, I'm going to Nishoni. Right?
Nijani.
Nijani. Oh my God. Subscribe to her channel, guys. If you're tuned in, you're watching this, one of the things that we do here as well. She's a fairly up-and-coming channel. Not a lot of followers, and I think it'll be great to kind of show her that we support one another. Definitely hit the link in the description and give her a sub. And I would love to see where the channel goes and some of the brand ambassador stuff that you're doing, and basically a journey, really. This is just me transitioning to the whole YouTube aspect. She's fairly new to this, and I've mentioned this. I'm always very taken seeing people that just start doing YouTube, because I guess for my own selfish reason, what happened is that in some cases I get a little jaded, or you can see my energy is different, or if things are not going certain ways, stuff like that. But I feel like there's a pure moment where you get your first camera, the bike, your helmet, shooting some cricket videos, or it's not perfect, and then you have the, hey guys, Nishoni, can you check out the, I'm going for a ride. It's so strange seeing, it's almost like seeing someone coming out of their shell a little bit. And I can't see it in my own videos, because when I go back to my old videos, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I just look at it in that sense. But when you see someone else, you're like, wow, there's this little magic, that's in this video, because yeah, things are not perfect all the time, and they don't care, and that's the beauty. That's the best part. There's another guy that I'm hoping to bring on as well, as out in Texas. He has a Panigale. He just bought a Panigale, but he just had a ZX, a 400, I think. Yeah, a 400, Kawasaki 400 or something like that, but he bought a Panigale. But he just started as well, and he's moving quickly, getting a faster and faster bike. And as I mentioned, just like seeing some of that stuff where you don't really care, and you're just out there having a good time. It's not about the views, not about the clicks, and how many people are seeing it. And that genuine aspect of it is really, really cool. And I wanted to know, like, your thoughts on it, and why did you start? Did you want to document stuff, or are you looking to kind of grow into something else? So you tell me. Fill us in.
All right. If you have been following Brandon Picasso, that's who I was featured in a lot of his videos. And when he actually recorded the day that I picked up my bike, and when I started putting accessories on there, and then excuse me, riding around. And actually I was riding around with him when I had the Mean Streak before I even had the Indian motorcycle. So excuse me, I'm getting deeper. But at some point he was like, Lenore, you need to invest in a GoPro camera and go ahead and do YouTubing too. And probably, I don't think I started doing that till like a year ago. It'd be almost 2 years, I think. So I would just, half the time I'd be like, oh, I'm putting out the like crappiest videos, but I don't think it's too crappy. Publish. Or I'm trying to find the right music for things. Like you mentioned in your channel for your Patreon about how to set up a mic and a helmet. I have yet to done that.
Really?
And no. I have a mic. I have a device that I can attach. I just have not figured out how to put it in my helmet correctly and tested it out versus putting it on my shirt or putting it anywhere else. And talking to people that way or hearing myself how I sound in the helmet. So that's why a lot of my videos you don't see me talking and riding. Uh,
No, that wasn't me. I was just telling my wife to pass something for me. It's so cool. By the way, guys, if you guys are not aware, okay, I have to make mention here regarding the Patreon. If you guys are not part of my Patreon, the link is in the description also. Join that. There's 3 tiers. We sent out some packages of some of the people that enroll. Super excited about that as well. Definitely you're going to want to join. I am doing a giveaway. At some point, it'll be... hopefully a dirt bike. I'm thinking of going that route. Since we're talking about helmet and setting it up, I'm gonna break the screen so I could show this. I just did a new helmet setup. Really, really cool since I'm gonna be uploading this week. Let me show you guys this. And definitely bringing a lot more videos on Patreon. But let's take a look real quick. Might as well show you guys this setup that I just did. Brand new helmet. Hopefully you guys could see that. All right. So what's cool about this one's not your typical motovlogging. Let me see. It's focusing on my face, by the way. Actually, you know what? Might as well just put this on. Why not? Oh my God! Let me take this off my ear.
I'm right back.
By the way, this is blasphemy. I never really wear my helmet without putting like a sweat thing on because I feel like it makes my helmet smells. But you could see my mic setup, my camera setup. There's no mic on it. There's not like a square for me to plug the mic. But I'm doing something really, really cool. It's very different. Nobody has done that yet. I have this other mic setup that I'm doing. So you could see this clamp here. I got to zip tie this. I'm probably going to make a video on this. But this is more for wheelie practice and doing videos locally in my neighborhood and stuff like that. So hopefully that that's going to give you super clear audio. But I'm going to show you my audio equipment. So I'm going to let the video record the video itself. Wow, that was close. I am mic'd up for the stream, so I almost kind of yanked that off. That would have sucked. Give me a second. I'm just going to unplug myself. Oh, there we go, guys. So, just so you're aware, this is my recording unit, okay? Again, these are some of the cool things that's going to happen on Patreon, guys. Let me see here. Hopefully, is it focus? Focus. That's a Tascam DR45. This mic's going to go right in here. Okay? So, that's going to go inside my jacket. I got plenty of free movement, and this whole rig I could pull off without having to worry about it. So this is going to give you super clear audio, unlike some of the other YouTube channels you usually see. You guys know, you've seen my videos, they're very, very clear. But this is a really dope setup. These are some of the things that I wanted to kind of cover on the Patreon, like specific stuff like this that that could be taught, or at least I don't know if I should make them private or something like that. But these are some of the things that we're offering on the Patreon that you'll get to see. Also, another really cool thing I want to show you guys as well. Let's see here. Yeah, my home office is a little bit on the messy side. So for those of you guys that are looking to do just videos where you capture the audio, I know like that guy Kels does the, that guy Kels, I think COVID Mecca does those videos. You can also grab something like this. Super, super small. Yeah. But you got to get the settings right. You can put it in your jacket. Wind is not going to hit it. It'll actually record your bike. So these are some of the videos, some of the values that I intend to kind of do on my Patreon at least. I'm not looking for a huge following, but enough of a following to kind of do giveaways and give some kind of value back. I think those are going to be kind of cool. And even how I shoot my overhead videos. I don't know if you saw on the Manscaped production video we did for them for the promo. Some of that stuff, they were all shot by us and stuff. I know sometimes they don't look it, but they are shot by us and stuff. So we could cover a lot of those things. They would be very cool. And yeah, man, I would appreciate it if you guys take a moment and join the Patreon and any tier. If you're on the top tier, you get an option to win a premium helmet, transition shield, and I think I'm going to do like a $200 card to Motivation USA so you could shop or at least add to something you're looking to buy. So the link's in the description. I'd appreciate it if you guys enroll. Why not? Let's bring these on back on and then we'll continue. But I just wanted to kind of show you that. But that was the setup that I did with the mic. I have a couple of different setups with mics and stuff that I think are super, super useful. And people are not doing it the same way. And also I would show the exact mic that I'm using, the lav mic, without the proper thing. For example, a lot of people always talk about how their audio doesn't sound well. So for example, I'll show you guys this. This is cool. I'm actually very proud of this. When I take this out, as you can see, my microphone is already fit into the helmet. I close the shield on the inside, on the outside of my helmet, so there's no wind, and you have the dead cat on here, so there won't be any kind of wind actually you'll hear, and this is not gonna come off. This is meant for me to ride locally for when I'm doing like KLX vlogs on the dirt bike, and I zip tied the wire and kind of cleaned it here just to kind of make, oops, sorry. See, I zip tie the excess wire instead of wiring it in the helmet because this is like a near my house kind of recording setup. I'm not going right through the city, so I'm like maybe a mile or a mile away from my home, so it doesn't need to be completely excessive. But these are some of the like tips and tricks and things. They'll be very cool to share with people. I kind of figure one thing that would be kind of cool about my Patreon is really using the platform to share at least some of the information, the knowledge I've attained over time and stuff. Some of the mistakes I've made, that way other people don't do it also. So that'd be kind of cool. Even behind the scenes, we'll be doing some of the stuff like that too. So that's cool. All right, that was that. I had to plug that in, guys. I did not plug my Patreon in the beginning, and everyone's like, you should do a Patreon. So you guys been asking for it, so join. All right. I know you did. That was awesome. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, so my question to you was about YouTube, about you know, your thoughts in joining and stuff like that. You said you just started doing with Brandon and you saw him filming and stuff. That's when you kind of got started into it. Is it something that you're doing a little bit more frequent? So you don't have a mic set up?
No, I don't. So half the time, either you will see me talk on the camera if I'm off the bike and I have like my actual camera in front of me. Or like, I think I did that one video where I had the GoPro attached to the helmet similar to yours. And as I'm walking into the convenience store, the grocery store, you literally can hear my inner thoughts speaking out loud about the grits. I couldn't find grits and stuff, and that's about it. Other than that, back on the bike, you hear nothing but the wind, so I just threw in some lo-fi music.
So
afterwards,
are we gonna change that now? You have a resource, and Brandon's near you. He'll definitely help you set that up.
Yes.
But for sure, you could always reach out to me. I always extend the same courtesy to everybody. Whatever that I know, I'm more than willing to kind of help and share, especially with the stupid Patreon thing I'm doing. It's a good incentive to sell. Actually, it's not super. I shouldn't say. I just minimize what I'm doing. That's not very nice. I know my wife's gonna be like, "Why did you say that? It seems so like negative." she's like that. But yeah. By the way, Futuristic Viper mentioned what brand is the GoPro and chin mount. So all of my stuff is originally GoPro branding. I have 4 different helmets right now. I'm looking at one this way, which you guys can't see. It's on the side of my office. And behind me, you'll see 3 other helmets. They all have different setups on them. I like being able to use all kind of different helmets whenever I feel like it. So it's not just one. When I first started, it was just like one helmet, one setup, and it would always be that. And I find out that I beat the helmet up because I'm using one thing. and I like to change the color and style. So I route different helmets with differently. Like some of it, I have the wiring running on the inside. For the dirt bike, when I'm practicing doing wheelies, I need something like snap ready to go, so it's a different rig. So I'll do multiple rigs and stuff if you guys want to see that, so that would be kind of interesting. What else we got here in terms of comment? I know there's a couple more that popped up here. Interesting perspective. Solo Rider mentioned here, interesting perspective on the marketing standpoint. I didn't think of it that way. I didn't think of it this way. You are correct. There must be value if they are reaching out. Yeah, 100%. If someone is reaching out to you, no one goes to you to your office and say, "Oh, you know, Solo Rider, I think you should be working on this project. Oh, we're gonna hire you for this." Not because you're beautiful, man. You know, obviously you either have talent or you have something that they can, you know, harness to kind of help, you know, propel what they're doing further. Jock in the Box mentioned helmet and gloves are a must. That's for the riding. Yeah, you know, I don't ride without anything, without not having anything on anymore. And just like, first off, I'm getting older. You know, injuries are gonna take longer to heal or whatever. And plus, your boy gotta work. You know, I don't want to be sitting down and then I'm going to feel stupid if something happened to me because I didn't make the right decision. I think that's kind of dumb. Jock in the Box mentioned here, if you drop them, just keep going. They never were on the back. Sorry, I'm lost here a little bit. If you drop them, just keep going. Oh, he's talking about the 2-up. Oh my God, that's dark. Let's see here, what do you got? Bud Tussinel mentioned here, the Insta360 looks like a good camera too. So Insta360 did sponsor my channel, and they provided some products for me and stuff like that. And again, these companies, they all reaching out. If they could pay you, they'll pay you. I love their cameras. I think their cameras are pretty amazing. The 360 stuff is really cool. The quality is really good. My problem with 360 cameras, and it's all of them, including GoPro, is that you need to have a beast of a machine to process the footage. You have to remove it off the camera. You have to do 2 different process, and then you get it to your editing software, and then you could work with it. There's just so many different tiers. From what I'm understanding, most people just use a cell phone. This is why you see a lot of 360 videos on like Reels and YouTube Shorts, because they're just easy to work on your cell phone, and then you don't have to do the multi-process. So that's my biggest problem with like 360 stuff, at least for now. But yeah, so Lenore, back to you. She's like, oh my God, this guy goes on this crazy tangent to start talking.
No. When you were talking about the 360, I was actually interested in wanting to get a camera like that. Other than separate from my GoPro, I wanted to look into an Insta360.
They are great cameras. They record amazing quality. The problem I have, like I said, so when you finish shooting your 360 video, you have to decide what's the frame rate you want to do and the quality, right? And then you bring into your computer, right? Right after you do that, you can't just start editing it. You have to go into the 360 program, convert the 360 round footage, right? And if you have a slow machine, or if you have a machine that's not purpose built, that might be a very long time for it to go through that process. And then once you're done with that, then you could put it in your 360 program, right? And then you could edit it into your actual video. It's just, I don't know how conducive that is if you want to do daily videos. If you're doing videos every now and then you can kind of patch it in, it's perfect. But you will soon learn. You will have to buy a very expensive computer in order to be able to work fast, because I have my iMac, it's custom in the back, and I also have another laptop that's custom that I could edit while I'm in the train or if I'm anywhere. But I mean, it all starts adding up when you start doing this stuff, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. I got the 360 RS. It's great. Then again, I do have the beast of a PC. They do. For the 360, do you need an app to record? No, for the 360, you don't need an app, but it does come with the app. You can connect it directly to your phone, and then from there you can edit in the app as well. Or you could just, for me, I like working on a computer. I just feel more comfortable. I don't like to be able to just use my finger. I would like to be extremely precise to the T when you're cutting something, either it's to the music or it's to a cut of where you say something or whatever, things like that. Oh my God, that's even, oh, I'm so glad you even mentioned this. I even wanted to do this too, where I could do a Patreon video of the way I edit my videos, or, you know, the steps of the process, something like that. So all of these things, these are some of the ideas I have floating in the big noggin over here. But yeah. All right, so where do you see your channel going? What's your plan for it?
My plan, I'm just shooting videos. Am I trying to make a profit off of it? No. It's just like I did the donuts video. I was like, oh, this is like the most crappiest way to go get donuts. And this was during the time of COVID. So they would not allow people to go inside the store. So that's why I had to take my bike through the drive-through, a long drive-through, just to get a dozen donuts. So I'm just doing weird, fun stuff on my bike. Like I have some footage that I have not, I think I've brought it up in my stories, or in my shorts, but I didn't like fulfill it together where me, Brandon Picasso, and some of the other riders, including Slider, who's in the comments right now, we all got together and met at a dealership and then went to this like restaurant at this in Columbus, Georgia, just to say, hey, we went out to ride and we stopped and got a place to eat upon meeting everybody. I hear somebody riding off in the background. And that one of the things I wanted to do. And then also I want to take some of the footage that I'm gaining my adventures as a brand ambassador and just showcasing, hey, this is what people get to do when they're in Sturgis, or this is what we got to do when we was in Cali. Haven't been to Cali since I was 6 years old. So that was really cool. Never been to Sturgis. Half of us that went never been to Sturgis. So we all had
Oh, I think she lost connection, guys. I think she might have lost connection, but it's all good. Well then, oh, you're back.
Okay.
Nice. You froze for a second. I was about to go into my one-man show for a second.
It says something about the internet is unstable, but I'm still back, right?
Yep, you're back. You're back.
Okay. And one of the ambassadors like made a little pin for everybody who are virgins visiting Sturgis for the first time. So, and I thought that was hilarious. I still actually have that pin. We was all sporting it that day very proudly because it was our first time. We've never done it before. Oh, and I think I got footage of that. We was on this huge rider ride. We got the ride with a lot of motorcyclists, and when the parade started, I got out into this like really big traffic of vehicles, and I got split up from the group, and I completely lost a group of 300 motorcyclists.
Oh my God.
So yes, so I rode around Deadwood, Black Needles Pine. I'm just venturing the area, just riding the roads and hoping to run back into the group. Never run back into the group. I think I've finally met them at the very end of the finish line. They were like, what happened to you? I was like, I got lost. I got split from everybody. I feel like a child lost their parent. And we just all joked about it. So they was like, next time, Lenore, we're going to have you in the front so you can't lose nobody. And I was like, that's what happened. I was in front and I still lost everybody. So.
Oh my God. Still very good, right? Still very good trip. By the way, Lenore, I am definitely going to give you an opportunity here to let everyone know where they can find you before we kind of wrap up. We are going on the 2-hour mark, right? Ooh. I think that's, yeah.
I know.
Right? It doesn't feel like we've been here for like 2 hours, right? Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to give you the floor and let you know, just kind of give people a breakdown of what you do and where they could find you on YouTube and stuff like that. And also, I'm going to run back that ad for Manscaped before I even leave because I'm very proud of that. I'm very excited for that. And I think I've earned that. So here you go, Lenore. It's all you right now.
My YouTube name still Najani X Moto. My Instagram Najani X Moto. I have a Patreon under the same name. Hardly nobody ever discovered me on Patreon. And by day, I work at an animal clinic, so I'm always fighting puppies and kittens and coming home with battle wounds. And on the weekends or some weekdays, I get a chance to just ride my motorcycles to work or on the weekend just to get away or get together with group meets and just try to have fun in between, recording my adventures and sharing them to the world, even though my footage may be crappy. I just look at them crappy and just press the publish button anyway and just be like, oh, I did something. I had fun. I hope y'all enjoy. If not, I did something and had fun and just said I did it. Oh, and I'm sorry. The biggest thing is I want to be an inspirator to a lot of ladies out there. I've had women approach me and reminding me that, oh, you're riding this big bike, but you're such a small lady, but you're actually inspired me. And I've actually had a few ambassadors, and I had a neighbor around the corner from me. A lot of people went and bought themselves a touring bagger because they saw somebody as small as I am handling it with ease. So I try to inspire a lot of ladies out there. Just don't be too intimidated. I was intimidated once. And look at me, I'm just in there throwing this 900-pound machine like it's nothing.
Wow, your bike is 900 pounds.
Yes.
Jesus.
It doesn't look like it.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you. By the way, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Nijani, thank you so much. Did I say it right?
Yes.
I did. All right, cool. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you coming on. Guys, just want to say thank you to everyone that came through tonight and be part of the channel. Always appreciate you guys taking the time. Just overall coming through, spending the Sunday night. I know it's a bit of your time that I'm taking, so truly appreciate it. Keep coming through. Share the channel with other people, and it means the world to me that I can come here and bring the same energy and continue pushing forward even though things get difficult. But we all know that's YouTube and that's how it is. But today is a great day. I am very proud. I am very happy with what we're able to achieve or what I'm pursuing here. And I'm just going to roll this Manscaped clip and then bid you guys a farewell for the night. Guys, take a quick look. Here it goes, our cut of the Manscaped promo one last time. Let's welcome Manscaped to Freestyle Sunday, a proud sponsor of the channel. Boy, I'm excited to tell you guys it's something you're gonna have to get. Manscaped is the absolute best when it comes to men's grooming down there. Trust me, I'm good to go. Wifey would agree.
That's right.
They also provided the Performance Package 4.0. You can join me and 7 million other men worldwide by using coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. You won't regret it. You hit me up later, be like, man, when I got off the bike, I felt good and fresh. The Performance Package 4.0 is an absolute game changer. Here's what comes in the package. The Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0, Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. It also includes the Crop Reviver Toner, and my favorite out of everything else, a high quality boxer. It's absolutely breathable. So when you're out there on the road riding your motorcycle all day, you're not gonna sweat through it, especially with ball deodorant in combination with those boxers. Trust me, you're good to go at all time, guys. They also even include a travel case. Amazing value. The Lawnmower 4.0 has advanced technology with a ceramic blade that's going to tremendously reduce the chance of you nicking yourself. Get 20% off with free shipping with code CFNY20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code CFNY20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. Man, I'm so proud of that. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. That was awesome.